Hey guys, Shadowburns here. I just figured I would do a UI video after the past couple raid videos I put up. You've seen my new UI compared to running nothing but grid. First off, I'll go through a list of the add-ons I'm using. Alright, for my unit frames, I'm using Xperl. You can see in the left here in the middle, that is me, just, your player. On the right, that's going to be my target, and in the middle is my target of target. The reason I do this is so I can see, let's say I click on a tank when I'm in a raid, he's targeting the boss, so I can see the tank's health and I can also see the boss's health without having to click on the boss. As you can see here in the middle, I'm using an add-on called Icehead. Icehead reps my health bar on the left and my mana bar on the right. Mine is on the inside and my target's is on the outside. Does the same thing for cast bar. On the inside left is my cast bar, and on the outside right is my target's cast bar. The reason I do this is because, well, I'm not looking at my Xperl most of the time. This just helps me to see, my target's health and my health and what my mana's at. Next on the list is Grid. This is the add-on I use in place of Healbot. I just cannot stand Healbot. I've tried it several times. I know all the healers are going to QQ at me. I do not use Healbot. Grid is so much better. Alright, the way Grid works is, it sets up your groups. As you can see where I'm mousing over right now is Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4, and Group 5. I have this set up when the raid difficulty is set to 25 man, it straight goes down like this to 25 man. When it's set to 10 man, it will only show 2 groups. It won't give you the big frame for 5 groups. I have Grid set to healer mode right now, so when someone's out of range like Serenia is right now, it grays out their name, and that way in the middle of a boss fight, I'm not looking for someone, I can't reach them, they're out of range, and I'm still, I don't have to run around looking for them. As soon as their name lights up, I know that I can heal them. If it's grayed out, I can't heal them. If you'd like to see my settings, if you like the way I have my grid set up, just click your grid up here on the mini-map, go down to Frame, open up the little plus bar, Advanced, and my font size is 15, my frame height is 50, and my frame width is 100. Next on the list is Dominoes. It might look like Bartender to some people, but I use Dominoes. I prefer this add-on much more than Bartender. I'll show you why. I'm going to click my Dominoes button up here on my mini-map, and it's going to bring up everything that I have. You have your 10 bars. These you can adjust their size, which is how many buttons they're going to have, down to 1 all the way up to 12. You can set their columns from 12 columns to 1 column. That'll change it from horizontal to vertical. You can change the spacing between buttons, the padding, the scale. You can change your faded opacity. You can just change so much about every individual bar. You can move them all around. And I have mine down here. I just have, 6 bars down here at the bottom. I have them stretched out across the bottom. I've set their scale to just right at 100, their default scale, and stretched them across the bottom. I have my key bindings set for Q is greater heal, flash heal is E, renew is F, guardian spirit is 1, circle of healing is 2, prayer of healing is 3, binding heal is 4, and prayer of mending is 5. Those are my core abilities. I have those bound, and then I have other things like my inner fire and my buffs in easy spots to click. The next add-on I'd like to go over is Forte. Forte is this bar right up here at the top. As you can see, this is the cooldown timer. When I hit Inner Fire, it resets my cooldown. Inner Fire is on 30 minutes, so it tells me how much longer Inner Fire has until it wears off. I'll show you a shorter cooldown, such as Circle of Healing. As you can see, I hit my Circle of Healing, and as this ticks down, 2 seconds, and then it'll have 1 second when it gets to the middle, and you hear a click when it comes off of cooldown. This is very, very useful if you're dot-based. I'm pretty sure there's one just for dots on a boss. It'll tell you when your dots are going to wear out in a bigger scale. I have this set to a pretty small scale. I can just right-click it, come into my options, and I can set my bar width, my bar height, and my icon size. I can make the icon smaller. I can even adjust it to have certain icons smaller than others. Forte is a very, very useful add-on for any class to have. I suggest everyone goes and downloads it. And the next add-on I'd like to go over is Elcano's Buff Bars, which, as you can see, is right here, buffs and tracking. This is a very useful add-on for just tracking every buff. Instead of up here, you get the picture right there, the duration, kind of on a bar, so you can tell when it's going to run out a little bit easier in your timer on the right-hand side. As you can see in a lot of my raid videos, clear down to the bottom. It's very nice to have. if you have the memory room. It does take up quite a bit of memory for something Blizzard already has implemented up at the top, but if you do like having the bars and being able to move it around a little bit, it's well worth it. And of course I have the basic add-ons. As you can see, I have Deadly Boss Mods and Recount. Everybody should have those two. Recount, you just have that so you don't have to have someone else post the link and be annoying in your raid chat. Deadly Boss Mods is just a no-brainer for anyone who's raiding at all. Okay, the next buff I want to cover is Power Auras. The way Power Auras works is, when I get a proc, for instance, I use mine on my Surge of Light. This is the only thing I use it on. When I get Surge of Light, it's going to show me a little blue circle around the bottom of my screen. I'll open up the menu, type /POWA when you have the add-on, and that's going to bring up Power Aura menu. I already have my Surge of Light set up, so I'm going to go into Edit, and you just normally would click New, find one you like. I click it blue, so just click the colors, make it blue. You can change it through here. I just prefer this one right here. I like that one, so we're going to set it to that. And down here, all you gotta do is type in the buff that you want it to activate on. Type in Surge of Light. Make sure it's capital in all the right places. And I don't think you need the rank for most procs, but you might. Didn't need rank for Surge of Light. So now, X out of that. X out of that. See if I can get my Surge of Light to proc. There it is, Surge of Light proc. And now, as you can see, I have the blue around me, and I can use my Surge of Light. Okay, last but not least, we have KG Panels. Not many people actually use this add-on because they think it's difficult to set up. It's really not quite as difficult as everyone thinks it is. To open this menu I have up right now, when you have KG Panels, you type /KG Panels config, and that's going to bring up this menu. The way you can make panels is, in your menu, you go to Active Panels, and you can create a panel. I already have my Action Bars panel set up. That's what this big blue background with a border is in the bottom. So I'm going to create a new panel. We're just going to call this Test 1 panel. Hit OK, and create. Now you've created your Test 1. There's Test 1 panel. Let's say I want to cover my grid. I want a border around my grid now. So I'm going to set it as close as I can to grid. Set it up just like that. And now you can see my panel is over grid. And now this is my Test 1 panel. So I can come down in here and just, when you click Test 1, it gives you all kinds of different options. The biggest one when you're creating a background for something is make sure your background color style is set to none. That's the biggest thing you want to make sure in this particular menu. Because if it's set to solid, it's going to cover up anything. You're not going to be able to see through it. So you want to make sure it's set to none. So now we're going to come down to texture options. You can upload your own textures. I'm sure there's some. You can probably just Google KG panel textures, and there's some pretty neat ones out there. People have designed custom ones just for your screen size, maybe. But this is just the basic. This comes with the Blizzard ones. Obviously, as you can see on the bottom, I'm using the Blizzard Tabard background. They have Parchment, Out of Control, Low Health, and Dialogue background. I'm going to put Parchment over my grid. So now you can see I have the background Parchment over my grid. Now you can come down here, you can change your border texture. I personally like this. It's the Blizzard Achievement border. That's what I have on the bottom. I personally like that one. You might like something different. And again, you can go download or you can even make your own in Photoshop, but they have to be perfectly square. Now you can come down to text options. You can add a text in the middle of it. I'm going to put Test 1 in the font color right there. And as you can see, Test 1 appeared on my panel. You can set text. I don't like to have text on mine, but it's personal preference. So you can come in here, you can rename your panel. Once you're done with it, just come up to the top, lock panel, close, and now my panel's locked in place. See how easy that was? I prefer KG panels, honestly. It does take up a lot of memory. It's going to make your game slower to load, but I just like it to keep everything in the bottom organized. As you can tell, everything seems like it's just one piece right there in the bottom, and I like that. There's lots of neat places online. You can even look up more tutorials on KG panels in YouTube, and there's people who will give you their downloads for their textures for KG panels. It's a very nice add-on to have if you have the memory space. Alright, so that's a list of all of my add-ons that you're going to see in my raid videos. I do prefer playing with all these add-ons. It does take up a lot of memory, but even with my computer is just a simple quad core with a pretty bad video card. about $100 video card, just above integrated graphics. And I'm running pretty smoothly. I don't really lag, as you can tell in my videos. I load it pretty quickly in Dalaran. Don't really have any lag issues or anything. Even with all these add-ons running, I'm running pretty smoothly. So yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. There's going to be more on the way. And let me know if you like the music in the raid videos or not. I've had people ask me specifically to not put the vent conversation up, so I definitely can't do that. But if you have music suggestions or anything else you'd like me to put in the boss kill videos, just send me something on YouTube, leave a comment, or you can send Shadowburns, Drendon US, a message in-game, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Alright, thanks, bye.